Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I have a new host code here for May, JM2CM6MB. It will be on my In the Pink Designs by Cathryn Facebook papercraft group. And also I'll put it on my videos so that you can see it. Tomorrow starts the brand new annual catalog. Hopefully everybody that has purchased from me in the last 6 months has gotten their copy. Or if you didn't, you should get it any day. Okay, so today I'm using the Zany Zoo cling stamp set along with the Zany Zoo dies, and I used an oval die from the mini pocket envelope dies, but you can use whatever you have for the top if you don't have those. The box itself measures 2 3/4 by 2 1/2, and it's 5 inches tall, so it's pretty big. It'll hold a lot of treats and goodies. I put in, I love my Target dollar spot. I run in, even if we're just going to Home Depot next door, my husband lets me run in and scan it for any good project items. Okay, I have 2 bath or pool things. This one's called, okay. First I have a crab bath poof, but the top of it is a little squirty. I thought that was the cutest thing, and it was only $1. And then the other thing is a little fish that when there's 2 little silver things on the bottom, when water is put on it, and even if your hand is wet and you put it in, it lights up. So these are great for the tub or a little wading pool for little kids. All right, so that's what is in this one. They also had, I have 3 little buddies in New Jersey that I buy things for, so I always try to get 3, and they happen to have 3 types. For the bath puffs, there was a little Nemo clownfish and a shark also. And for these, there was a little octopus and a little unicorn, Pegasus, I guess, because he has wings. So look for those things in your dollar spot if you're interested. But this could also fit lots of different party favors if you want. I used the little turtle and the You're Too Wonderful sentiment on there, and some stitched burlap ribbon that comes in the real red and burlap ribbon combo pack. That was carried over. All right, so what we need for this project, I cut some little things out. We need 2 of the large flowers, and I cut them out of Daffodil Delight and 1 little one. And then the little stool I cut out of Smokey Slate cardstock. We have a 2-inch circle punch that I use the blending brush on with some Daffodil Delight just to give it some color in the black background. So this is just basic white with 2-inch circle punch, and I put a little bit of Daffodil Delight blending ink. And then I'm using the Decorative Circle Punch, which I could say it's about 2 3/8. All right, and this is out of Granny Apple Green. Okay, of the Zoo Crew DSP, we need 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. They're for the front and the back. 2 1/4 by 2 3/4 are for the sides, and 2 1/2 by 1 1/2 are for the top, the front and back of the top. Okay, we need some basic white for stamping. And we need a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock that is 11 by 8. So you just have to cut a 1/2 inch off the side, the short side. All right, let me get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 11-inch side. We're going to score at 1/2, 3, 5 3/4, and 8 1/4. Then we're going to turn it to the 8-inch side, and we're going to score at 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 7 1/4. All right, Now, this 3/4 inch piece, I'm going to fold back a little bit away from the bump because it's going to be this top piece, so we don't have to burnish it down. But all the rest of the score lines, I'm going to fold and burnish. Okay, so how I have this is the skinniest rectangle is on the left and the 3/4 inch strip is on the top. And this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, just going to cut the bottom a little bit and take a little piece off the top. All right, so we're going to start over on the left-hand side, go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge up into the skinny rectangle just a little bit. Okay, then we're going to go to the next score line, and I'm going to go right after the score line because this is what we're going to make our tabs out of. So cut it to the first score line, then wedge both sides of the square here. And then we're going to cut about a 1/2 inch off the bottom. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line. I left the score line here attached to this one, which is going to be the other tab. All right, go to the next score line, leave that score line attached to the tab. If it doesn't bother you that the score line is left, you don't have to worry about that. All right, we're going to wedge each side of the square and take about a 1/2 inch off the bottom. It doesn't have to be exact. All right, and that's the bottom. Then all we have to do is turn it to the other side, go all the way to the end, to the skinny rectangle here, and just wedge up a little bit into that. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like after scoring it and cutting it. All right, now we're going to put tear and tape on what's left of the skinny rectangle next to the score line. Just press it down. And then I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm going to peel the backing off. I'm going to roll back any on the edges that went over. Okay, flip the whole thing over. Flip over the side with the tape and flip the other side over to meet it. Okay, now this is our back. Alrighty. The two longer ones, see these are a little bit shorter. So the two longer ones are the front and the back. And it'll tell you by your tabs, that's the sides. All right. So now this is my back. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each tab. Put them down. And then I'm going to put glue on the back flap. Pull that down on top of the tabs. And then put glue on the back of the front flap. And then just make sure that everything is nice and even and square. Okay, once it's stuck together, flip it over and make sure that your tabs are down. Okay. Now what we want to do is put whatever it is where we want to put in our box. So I'm just going to cut off the dollar just so they don't see it. But they'll probably know because I get the stuff from Dollar Tree, from the Dollar Spot and Target all the time. All right, and then I'm going to put the little fish, or no, actually the octopus in on top of it. See, this will hold a boatload of stuff. All right, now that everything's in there, it'll hold your sides nice and even. And what we're going to do is make sure your seam is right here. You're going to push in with your thumb and squeeze the back and the front together with your other fingers. Oops, there we go. My octopus was keeping this one a little bit. So the fish works the best in these. octopus and the poof are a little large. But I still fit it in. I just should have been more careful because it's a little bit wiggly there, but it's okay. Still, you don't really notice the inside. All right, and that's your box. Okay, now we need our DSP. Remember, 2.5 by 2 3/4 goes on the front and the back. 2 1/4 by 3/4 goes on the sides, and 2.5 by 1 1/2 go on the top of the front and the back. All right, and all of this will be on my blog. And I'm going to put that, all of it on with liquid glue. Okay, and that's what it looks like with the DSP on. All right, so we'll let that dry and we'll do some stamping. And we're going to do, first we're going to do our turtle with Tuxedo Black Ink. Okay, and then I'm going to get out my blending brush and my Granny Apple Green ink, and we want to do it because this is actually basic white, so I just wanted to give it a little tint of the Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to just put it and just blend like a little oval. I'm not the greatest at this. I'm learning though, but I'm just going to try to make a little oval area. I have to watch more videos of people doing this. Okay, that's good. All right, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment right on there. It's "You're Too Wonderful" in Tuxedo Black Ink, right over the middle. And then I'm going to take this die from the mini pocket envelope dies, and I'm just going to put it right over it and cut it. And I'm going to get the turtle die and cut that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have them both cut out. All right, so we'll put that to the side, and I'm just going to use 3 markers today. I'm going to use light and dark Granny Apple Green for the actual turtle, and light Smokey Slate for the microphone. Okay, and next I'm going to start with the dark Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to do the first stripe, and then the third one, and then the last one. And then I'm going to do the edge of his shell all the way around in the dark Granny Apple Green. And the spots on the back of his shell here. All right, and then I'm going to do the rest of the turtle with light Granny Apple Green. Okay, and there we go. All right, now we're going to get our decorative circle punch that I said is about 2 3/8 and the 2-inch circle punch, and we're going to attach them together with liquid glue. All right, and then I'm gonna put some dimensionals on my turtle. A regular dimensional does fit on his head, so you don't have to worry about that. One there. All right, and I'm just gonna put him in the middle of the circle. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna get my silicone mat. And I'm going to put the stool and 2 of the flowers, a large one and a small one. I'm just going to put a kind of like a zigzag of glue. I'm going to use the sticky side of my Take Your Pick tool. what I'm going to do with this stool is I'm just going to kind of dip it in and then just kind of, I don't know if I got any on that last one there. Okay, because you don't want it too thick or it's going to squeeze out. And I'm going to have it next to him, but the legs are going to stick down a little bit. All right, and then the large circle I'm going to put up next to his head, and the top of it will stick off a little bit. And then the small circle will go, the small flower I'm going to put down here by his feet. All right, and then I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay. All right, then we're going to get our box, and this is the front, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch hole punch, and I'm just going to punch 2 holes in each side. 1 hole in each side, actually. Need muscles for this because it's a couple layers. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take, I don't think this is, no, that's that one. I'm going to take my stitched burlap ribbon. I'm going to put it through, and you want to make it large enough, the tails on it, so that they can retie it. Or you can just put a clip on it and tie a bow around the clip if you don't want the person to, if it's a little one, if you don't want them to have to deal with it. All right, just gonna tie a bow. All right, and then I'm just gonna clip the ends, but I don't want to clip them too short, so they have enough to retie it if they want to. All right, now I'm gonna get some dimensionals again, and we're gonna put our embellishment on the front. Just gonna center it as best I can. All right, there we go. Then we're gonna take our You're Too Wonderful, and we're gonna put it right in the middle of the top with liquid glue, right in the middle. All right, and then we're gonna get our last flower, and we're gonna put a dimensional on the back, and then I'm just gonna put it right up on the side of the sentiment. Okay, and for the final touch, I'm going to use some classic matte dots, the black ones. And I'm going to put large ones in the middle of the 2 large flowers. Oops. And a small one in the middle of the small flower. That way you don't have to worry about the little dots that are on the dies. Alrighty, I hope you have a good day. Remember, tomorrow starts the new catalog. And if you have any questions, my email is below, along with the link to my shop. Don't forget this host code for any purchases under $150 total. And also my blog is linked down there to see all the measurements. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.